The story begins in a dark forest. A large pack of wolves stands facing a single demon. The wolves are ready to attack. As soon as their leader gives the order, all of them rush toward the demon. But for that demon, killing them is only a matter of minutes. Seeing his entire pack getting slaughtered, the wolf leader can no longer hold himself back. He charges toward the demon. The demon grabs the wolf by its jaws and bites straight into its neck, crushing it with his teeth. The scene changes. We are introduced to mysterious beings, creatures who possess magical abilities. These beings are called spirit beasts. God sent spirit beasts into this world in human form so that they could assist humans. However, some of them turned evil reincarnations with devastating destructive power. Now we see a man running through the forest, desperately trying to save his life. His entire team has been killed and robbed. He is the only one left alive. As he runs, suddenly, a crossbow bolt pierces him. He collapses and dies on the spot. The men who killed him begin mocking his corpse. They loot his belongings and start heading back toward their camp. But on their way back, they witness a terrifying sight. Dozens of dead wolves are lying scattered across the ground. Some of them think the wolves must have fought among themselves. But their leader, Martin, feels something is wrong. Suddenly, one of the men calls out to Martin. In front of them lies a massive spirit beast, and beside it sits a man. Martin looks at the wolf and says, "This must have been the leader of the pack." Then he looks at the man. "Who is this guy? Did he kill all of them?" "No, he looks dead. Take whatever useful items he has. We'll sell them in the city." Suddenly, Martin screams. A red lizard has bitten his leg. He orders his men to kill it. One of them pulls out a knife and moves toward the lizard. But before he can strike, an axe flies through the air and slices off his hand. In the next second, the dead man stands up. He punches the man in the face and says, "If anyone touches this lizard without my permission, you will all die." Everyone freezes in fear. One of the men shouts, "You killed our teammate." Ananta calmly replies, "He's still alive." But Martin steps forward. "I will not tolerate this disrespect. I will punish you right now." Ananta pulls out his axe and says, "Take your man, and leave." Instead, they all attack him in anger. Ananta dashes forward. In a single movement, he slices off their hands and moves past them. The group begins to think, "This man is a monster." Martin orders everyone to fire their crossbows. The sound of arrows being released echoes through the forest. Ananta quickly picks up the red lizard, holds it against his chest, and turns his back toward the arrows. Every single arrow pierces his back. The men think he's dead. But suddenly, demonic energy begins to leak from Ananta's body. Within that dark energy, countless terrifying beasts appear. And among them, a massive black dragon emerges. Everyone trembles. They think Ananta is about to transform into a demon. But Ananta clenches his fists and forcefully suppresses the transformation. The demonic energy disappears. However, controlling that power exhausts him. From the top of a tree, a mysterious figure watches everything. Taking advantage of Ananta's weakened state, the men capture him and take him to their base. At the base, they present Ananta before their leader and explain everything. The leader cannot believe that this boy killed such a massive spirit beast alone. Ananta and the red lizard are both locked in chains. Suddenly, Ananta says, "Burn that spirit beast's body immediately." Martin yells at him, but the leader silences Martin and asks Ananta his name. "My name is Ananta." The leader asks, "Why did you kill that beast?" Ananta replies calmly, "I was hungry." The leader is shocked. Martin interrupts, "We saw him transforming into a monster with our own eyes. And remember the rumor from the village near the mountains? A giant crater was found there. People believe a demon is controlling bodies and devouring them." The leader asks, "What makes you think he's a demon?" Martin points to the spirit beast's neck. "Look at the wound. That bite mark, that's not from any ordinary beast. Whether you believe me or not, I think this man is a demon wearing human skin." Ananta starts laughing. Martin shouts, "What's so funny?" Ananta replies, "If what you're saying is true, then can a demon that devours spirit beasts really be held down by simple chains?" Before he can say anything more, the ropes binding the spirit beast's corpse begin loosening. Blood droplets fall onto the leader's shoulder. Before he can even turn around, the spirit beast suddenly comes back to life and devours Martin. Ananta says, "This is not a normal corpse. A demon is controlling it." Panic spreads across the base. Dozens of wolves begin attacking the walls. Behind them stands a terrifying creature, a Wendigo. The Wendigo commands the beasts to attack. The wolves climb over the walls and begin slaughtering everyone inside. Someone sets the wooden barricades on fire. The beasts start burning. Outside, the Wendigo watches calmly. Suddenly, a dead wolf's body is thrown at him. The one who threw it is Ananta. Standing tall, covered in blood, Ananta says, "All the bones and flesh of every beast that came here, I will devour them all." Just then, the Wendigo uses his nature power to summon even more beasts from the forest and sends them charging toward Ananta. Two massive beasts leap at him from opposite sides, but before they can even land a hit, Ananta grabs them mid-air and smashes them violently into the ground, crushing their bodies beneath his strength. Without wasting a second, he begins cutting down every beast that stands in his way, walking forward step by step toward the Wendigo as if nothing can stop him. Seeing Ananta approaching, the Wendigo grows nervous and immediately uses his nature power to enlarge his body, his muscles expanding as sharp spikes burst out from his back. Roaring in rage, he launches himself at Ananta, and the two begin clashing with their claws, their attacks shaking the ground around them. In the middle of the fight, the Wendigo throws a heavy punch straight at Ananta's face, but Ananta catches his arm with one hand, gathers his power into his fist, and delivers a devastating punch directly into the Wendigo's mouth. The impact is so powerful that it not only shatters his jaw but also rips his arm clean off, and the force sends the Wendigo flying far across the battlefield. Ananta tosses the severed arm aside and calmly begins walking toward him while returning to his human form, and after taking that punch, the Wendigo collapses, completely defeated. However, something strange begins to move inside the Wendigo's body, and sensing something unnatural, Ananta tears open the creature's torso and pulls out a blonde girl from within. Realizing the truth, Ananta understands that the one fighting him this entire time was actually this girl being used as a vessel. She is unconscious, which means another demon was controlling her body. Suddenly, Ananta senses danger approaching from above, and before he can fully react, a sharp attack strikes him, injuring his right arm. He looks up and sees a vulture landing nearby. Ananta says that this must be the demon who has been controlling all the spirit beasts. The vulture then transforms into his true demonic form and speaks arrogantly, saying he never expected Ananta to defeat his most precious puppet so easily, and that says that he has been watching him ever since he stepped into the forest. Noticing that Ananta is not paying attention to his speech, the demon quickly snatches the unconscious girl from Ananta's hands. Ananta responds calmly and tells him that listening to him is making him sleepy and that he has no interest in the words of an evil beast, so he should stop talking and come forward to face his death. Amused by Ananta's confidence, the demon reveals his full power and explains that he can control the spirit of any dead body, and if he kills Ananta and takes control of him, Ananta will become his most powerful puppet. As soon as he finishes speaking, he activates his ability, and all the dead beasts and humans scattered across the battlefield begin rising under his control. They surround Ananta from every direction, wolves locking their powerful jaws onto his arms while dead humans stab spears into his body to restrain him. Taking advantage of the situation, the vulture demon rushes forward and strikes Ananta directly in the chest, then mockingly tells him to cry because he enjoys killing humans when they are in despair. Instead of crying, Ananta starts laughing, and in the next moment he releases his terrifying power, instantly destroying every dead body around him in a burst of overwhelming energy. The vulture is shocked and begins to suspect that this power might belong to the legendary Black Dragon. Ananta then fully releases the Black Dragon's power and asks the demon why he is not screaming like the other beasts did. With a sudden movement, he attacks again, severely injuring the vulture, but what happens next is even more horrifying, as the beasts formed from Ananta's demonic energy tear into the vulture's neck and devour him completely, leaving nothing behind. After some time, the blonde girl regains consciousness and sees the terrifying demonic aura surrounding Ananta, which shocks her deeply. Ananta looks at her and slowly returns to his human form, telling her that she is now free from the vulture's control. He asks if she remembers how she became a demon, but she says her memory is unclear and that she only remembers seeing glowing wings before everything went dark. Hearing this, Ananta realizes that she is also a victim of the being of reincarnation. The girl, confused and exhausted, asks what the being of reincarnation is and who Ananta really is. Ananta introduces himself as a descendant of the Black Dragon and a survivor who will eliminate every demon in this world and also kill the being of reincarnation. Overwhelmed by everything, the girl struggles to understand what is happening, questioning what the being of reincarnation truly is, why the Black Dragon wants him dead, and why she feels so mentally and physically exhausted, and after saying all this, she collapses again. Ananta sighs and realizes he may have given her too much information at the wrong time because she is already mentally drained. In the next scene, the girl is trapped inside a nightmare where she is running in fear, chased by the Wendigo, which is actually her own reincarnation form. She trips over a corpse and falls into a pool of blood, and in the reflection of the blood she sees the Wendigo's shadow behind her while countless corpses surround her, representing the people she has killed, and she screams in terror, asking what she has become. Suddenly, a bright light appears behind her, and when she turns around, she sees the being of reincarnation standing there, smiling at her. She wakes up in fear and finds a rabbit-eared girl standing nearby, telling her she was trembling in her sleep and must have had a bad dream. In the distance, Ananta orders his pet Ruby to finish the remaining work, and Ruby breathes fire onto the collected corpses, burning them completely as the spirits of the demon and the others fade away in the flames while Ananta watches silently. The rabbit girl informs him that after burning everything, the task is complete, but Ananta looks at her angrily and accuses her of giving him useless information again and wasting his time, declaring that their deal is over and demanding his payment before grabbing her by the neck and lifting her into the air, then throwing her down. She calmly stands up and comments that he is always angry before asking the blonde girl her name, and the girl introduces herself as Nadia. The rabbit girl explains that Nadia is also a victim of the being of reincarnation, but when Nadia asks what that means, Ananta tells the rabbit girl to stop talking nonsense. Calling him rude, the rabbit girl takes out a strange watch and presses it, causing the ground beneath them to open, and the three of them fall into a hidden passage. When Nadia opens her eyes again, she sees a massive tree in front of her, and the rabbit girl introduces herself properly as a member of the continent's largest information network known as Rabbit's Foot and says she has been working with Ananta for a long time. She explains that they are now in the largest trading city in the south and that the enormous tree before them is a secret tree known as the White Lotus Tree, and their mission is to reach the very top. Nadia interrupts and says she is grateful for being saved but does not want to hear any more one-sided explanations and demands to know why Ananta brought her here. Ananta tells her to follow him and says he will show her the reason. They walk through a busy marketplace, and Nadia asks why Ananta is chasing the being of reincarnation. Ananta coldly replies that he wants to kill the disgusting beings that God mistakenly created, but Nadia does not understand. So the rabbit girl explains that just as God gave spirit beasts human form and power, God also granted the being of reincarnation the ability to give power to others, and no one truly knows whether that power is a blessing or a curse. Finally, they arrive at their destination, which turns out to be a slave market where hunters capture migrants and sell them, including men, women, children, and even spirit beasts. Shocked, Nadia asks what this place has to do with the being of reincarnation, and without hesitation, Ananta kicks her into a nearby room, where she rolls down the stairs and sees countless people chained and imprisoned inside. Ananta then reveals the truth, saying that the being of reincarnation is offered living sacrifices and that all these people will be taken to the secret tree and sacrificed, and he coldly tells Nadia that she herself is nothing more than bait to reach the being of reincarnation. After that, Ananta turns around and tells Pao to come with him. Just then, Nadia walks up the stairs and stops near the gate. She angrily says that everything happening here is their fault. Ananta looks at her calmly and says that even if that is true, what can she possibly do about it? Hearing this, Nadia loses her temper and shouts at him, asking how they can use innocent people just to achieve their goals. She asks if he feels no regret at all. Ananta coldly replies that unless she dirties her own hands, she will never be able to complete her revenge. This only makes Nadia even angrier. At that moment, Pao walks toward Nadia and says she understands how she feels. She says these people don't even know that death is waiting for them, and pretending to be emotional, she says just thinking about it makes her want to cry. But Nadia immediately sees through her act and says they cannot manipulate her with such words, and asks how they can stay happy after killing innocent people. Pao then reminds Nadia that she herself once killed many people while being controlled by a demon. She explains that Nadia did not do it willingly, the demon inside her did, and that demon was placed there by the being of reincarnation. Pao then says that right now they all share the same enemy, the being of reincarnation. In the next scene, we see Ananta preparing himself for the battle arena. Pao comes to him and says that he was a bit too harsh with Nadia, but Ananta ignores that and instead asks about Nadia. Pao tells him that she successfully convinced Nadia to join their plan. She explains that once the sacrifice begins, their battle with the being of reincarnation will start. The preparations are already happening inside the temple, and even though they have spies inside, the barrier created by the White Lotus Tree prevents them from coming here. Pao tells Ananta that everything is ready and now he can participate in the arena tournament. If he wins, he will receive a branch of the White Lotus Tree and also get a chance to meet the being of reincarnation. Pao then thinks to herself that this mission would have been much harder if Ananta had attacked the city directly, because that would have drawn everyone's attention. She also realizes something surprising: Ananta never crosses the line between humans and demons. He is a demon who only wants revenge against the being of reincarnation and does not care about anything else. Suddenly Ananta stands up and says he heard the roar of a beast nearby, and before fighting the being of reincarnation he wants a little warm-up. He tells Pao not to worry and to just watch peacefully while he shows how he kills beasts. Pao warns him not to attract attention, and Ananta says he will be careful. The scene then shifts to the arena, where several warriors are holding their shields in formation while facing a spirit beast that is growling at them. Their leader tells everyone to hold the line. Suddenly Ananta walks in and pushes one of the warriors aside, saying he will fight the beast alone. The spirit beast immediately attacks him with its claws, but in one clean strike Ananta cuts off its arm with his axe. Everyone watching is shocked, and even Pao says she expected something like this. The warriors cannot believe that such an ordinary-looking boy is stronger than a spirit beast. Then Ananta jumps into the air and strikes the beast's head with both of his axes, killing it instantly. The entire arena falls silent in shock. After killing the beast, Ananta looks toward the white lotus tree and shouts that the being of reincarnation should wait for him, because soon he will devour it alive. After this, the scene shifts to the white lotus tree where the sacrifices are being brought before the temple leader. The leader tells them to forget their fear and prepare themselves to climb the stairs to heaven. Seeing this, Nadia starts wondering if this person might actually be the being of reincarnation. And with this moment, the chapter ends, leaving us with one big question: is this really the being of reincarnation, and can Ananta defeat him? We will find out in the next chapter. Thanks for watching.